All right. Hey, what's going on? Um, yeah, I so I guess in the last stream we kind of cleaned this up. So I did add some stuff afterwards. I added the functionality to be able to like update an existing community with like the current address and group ID. So like this kind of logic right here. I also have it just printing the lat and long. I'm not doing anything with that yet, so that's kind of what we're doing today. I also have this hooked up to the geocoding API, so we don't really have to mess with setting up any APIs. It's already kind of set up and ready to go. Um, so a lot of, I guess, logic here is going to be mainly in terms of addresses. I might actually swap out addresses with lat long because that makes a little more sense. Actually, let's just quickly do that right now. How would we do this? Can I just save them as couples? Never tried it that long. Well, let's give it a shot. Um, pull up Firebase. And maybe remove some of the things so that we can kind of test this right now. Buzzcut staging. We are in our staging environment. And I'm just gonna delete both of the current. I just delete the whole thing. Okay. So if I pull up my Postman, I just kind of used the GO station that used to be near my childhood's home as the address, so I can kind of test it in maps. I guess not today. Arrays aren't allowed. I guess it's considered a nested array. Maybe we just stringify it somehow. But then we're kind of considering it too. Let's just do f string. That's not an f string. There we go, something like that. So now let me just pull up these up front. It ran. I don't see it show up yet. Let me see if there's any. Just refresh it maybe. There we go. Okay. I'll make sure. Why is there a dollar sign? Did I put a dollar sign? Oh. So I keep mixing up syntaxes. But like, I feel like I code switch a lot, so different, oh, there's something in my eye now. Different languages kind of use different things, so. There we go. That one's better. I notice if it's exactly the same, it's not gonna add it. So that's probably why the group ID hasn't changed, since it's still the same group ID. But you can see at least the rest of it incremented, so it's doing something. All right. Anyways, let's go back to this. So now that we have lat longs, what we want to do is kind of calculate the distance between our current lat long and whatever is in the groups, to make sure that any other address in the group is at least a kilometer away. there is an algo that I remember. I might actually just have to search this up a little. I believe it's called the Haversheen formula. This formula. That's a longitude. Let me just make sure I'm talking about it right now. Formula. The Haversheen formula, yeah. Maybe I just got confused with the circles, but basically this is the formula that I want to try to use. I am curious if there is a function, Python distance between two coordinates. I don't know if there's anything like right off the, I guess GeoPy has something. We already have GeoPy, so we can use that. I wonder if it's just doing the same thing, to be honest. But yeah, it's able to print this out. So let me just actually kind of copy this as a reference here. Let me go up here. Import geopy.distance. It seems a little off, but yeah. Okay. Now, how are we doing this? So right now we have a bunch of possible groups. Yeah. Let me actually quickly validate my thought with something just to make sure I am kind of going about the right way. Yeah, maybe we look. This might not be the most valid way to do this, or like the fastest way to do it. First off, we gotta get rid of the limit one. We'll kind of just do a valid. Maybe valid community ID. Let's call it doc. Actually, keep it ID. Right now it's none. And then for doc and query stream. Let's get and existing coordinates. I'll store in here. So I just want to kind of print this result. Yeah, print existing words. Let's kind of ignore this for now. And if we go back to this, let's see what we print. We do print our array, so we have our array right here. We have our messy array, so let me just kind of clean that up real quick. It is printing a string, so maybe I should parse that first. Do I even need the bracket, to be honest? I have the bracket too for some reason. Where did I put them? Right here. Sorry, I'm blind. And then there's one more up here, which we might have commented out, but we'll leave it for now. And let me just modify it within that array as well, so it's all kind of consistent. All right. So if we run this endpoint again, we should expect, yeah, kind of prints it out. If we have one more, let me just, because we're going to eventually have multiple, so. I'm just going to change one of them manually, so this is not going to be anywhere near. But yeah, I just kind of changed it to 80. But you can see it kind of lists it out like that. Cool. Now I might need to parse this into I guess we can just split it, to be honest. Split and strip. Sorry, I'm just thinking. Let's see. Let's actually just get some ChatGPT help with this. Okay. So I guess that's what I was trying to say. This might be a convoluted list of loops, but we'll go about it for now. Cannot convert string to float. What is the problem? 49. Oh wait, what? Why is there brackets? Oh, it's. What? So confused. Okay, let's go back to staging. Oh, it's because of some of the other collections that also have it. Okay, so now none of the collections have it. Now let's see. There we go. We're also, yeah, I guess we're creating new communities each time we submit this. So let me just kind of remove the set here. Or if we do some kind of, well, first let's determine this. If you can find a determined one, if you can find a valid one, we don't need to actually do any of this. Okay, so we have our list of existing coordinates. Now we want to make sure the new coordinate, because I guess we would have checked everything at that point. So we just want to make sure the new coordinate is 1 kilometer away from everything that is currently there. So for current, okay, let's kind of clarify this as chords equals lat long, and then chords in existing chords. We can do this whole thing. GeoPy chords and chords. Let's just print this first, actually. Just validate if it's doing what it should be doing. Since it's the same place, let's see if it knows that. So we'll test it with a 0. And 80, because this is I don't know where that is, but it's saying it's 80 kilometers, which makes sense. Let's kind of move that forward a little. 3 kilometers, sure. I don't know how far it is, but this should be valid. So if we go in here, is less than 1. I guess there's no point checking anything else, right? Let me actually make this a different function, maybe. Would that be a little easier? I think I'm getting lost. Okay. So chords and existing chords. I want to, okay, so if it's less than 0, exit this loop, go back here. That'll continue. No, continue is like keep going, right? I think it's break. Break. But then how do we, okay. Sorry, I'm just thinking unnecessarily long about how I'm going to structure this loop. Let's give it an external status, I guess. is valid. Maybe by default it's true. Is valid. False. And then you can break. If is valid is true, we can break out of this loop. But also valid community doc. Valid community doc equals doc. And then here, I guess we can go back here. So if valid community doc. Valid community doc. Tackle all of them, right? Doc refs are fine. And then we can put else. And then that's when we kind of create a new community. Okay. So that seems like it makes sense. Let's give it a shot. Okay. So I'm going to delete these again. I'm just going to delete all of them. Communities. Bye-bye communities. And start that. So the first one should just create a whole new community. Let me refresh this. And we see communities. Cool. The next one, let's say 3713. So this should be far enough away. That little pad. Nice. But if it's right beside it, it should create a new one. And it sure does. Perfect. Now from here, if they're far enough, ideally it'll fill up the first one until it is full, and then it'll go to the second one. So 5740. These aren't real places, I don't think so. Why do I create a new one? Oh, maybe it's like close enough to them. Plus 67. I think I just don't know how far things are right now, but it seems like it's kind of doing it. I think I'm just not aware of how far some of these things are from each other, because I'm surprised they're not kind of adding up to this address array right here. We can test that, so maybe we can I think I'm just going to try running these with test cases, but I think for now, this seems like it works fine. I'm just going to leave it as is. That is kind of the main gist of what I want to get done today. We don't need this anymore. And I guess we don't have to print this anymore. We might have to test this function a little more, but this is kind of the algorithm that will help decide what community you kind of belong into. And then that way we can kind of group all these people to one phone number. So if we have like a phone number here, we can just link this to your group ID so that if this number gets a call, we'll check what group it belongs to, like that specific call, and then we can not forward it, but like notify and act accordingly for that one user. Yeah, I think that's it for this video at least. Let me see if anything. So I'm very new to this, so I'm very new to the world of streaming, so if I'm not if I look a little finicky, that's kind of why. But yeah, I guess we'll just wrap it up here. See you guys in the next stream.